is the vault, right? And Nike's always been original in like who they are. You know, that swoosh.
His collaboration with Nike, inspired by football and how he loves the mixture of culture.
Yeah, you also went to a Taylor Sydney show.
I did. Sydney did not disappoint. Got to see two amazing shows of the Eras Tour. The last of the
Taylor Swift's boyfriend jetting into Sydney to catch up with the superstar ahead of her sellout shows.
got to see two amazing shows of the Eras Tour. The last of the
New major deal. The offers that are being made to Travis Kelce continue to come in. As a result of his second consecutive victory in the Super Bowl and his budding friendship with Taylor Swift, the Kansas City Chiefs star has been flooded with prospective deals, according to the U.S. Sun. With the 34-year-old already working for companies such as Amazon, Pfizer, and Lum Hellsberg Diamonds, an incredible 50 firms are competing for his signature. However, the sportswear giants Nike, who already have Kelce on their roster in North America, want him to become the face of their new ads in Asia. Taylor just recently rocked Singapore after 6 gigs that were completely sold out. With the connection to the cruel summer star, Nike executives feel that having Kelce appear on billboards and in advertisements will result in a significant rise in income. Football is becoming increasingly popular because of this relationship. An individual with knowledge of the situation asserts that his reputation has exploded over the past few months, and that he is now being considered as one of the main athletes to be the face of the brand in the next campaigns in this part of the world. With his skyrocketing career and his relationship with Swift, that helps him get massive numbers of new fans in Asia, according to the information provided. Kelce, who is currently in a third year of a $57 million deal that will expire at the end of the next NFL season, is truly bringing home the bacon.
Is the vault, right? And Nike's always been original in like who they are. You know, that swoosh.
Realize the privilege that I had. That's why I'm out here in the community. I'm here to try and level out the playing field.
That's gonna be crazy if you can throw that together too. And I say if just because they haven't been done.
I got those.
You got those?
Sure.
You got a lot of sneakers in your collection?
Come on, man.
I know. I'm gonna be dripped out.
For years, man.
Bro.
His collaboration with Nike, inspired by football and how he loves the mixture of.
His New Heights podcast is now competing with Joe Rogan's for the title of the most popular podcast in the world, and advertisers from all over the world are taking notice. Additionally, Calvin Klein is interested in having him represent their brand, and the fashion giant is considering the possibility of recruiting him to serve as a brand ambassador for a period of 3 years. Not only do they want him to model for ads in the United States and internationally, but Samsonite and Toyota have also expressed interest in making bumper deals with him. Additionally, Singapore Airlines has recently presented an offer of many millions of dollars to Kelce and Swift in order for them to become brand ambassadors. This comes after the pop sensation's visit to Singapore during her Eras Tour was extremely successful. According to a source who spoke with the United States Sun, the power couple is the perfect target to become ambassadors for Singapore at the international level. The source also stated that having both of them here for a couple of days is a massive thing for Singapore, and the impact on the economy is massive. They went on to say that, "We have never had an artist that attracts so many fans and helps the country generate so much business and money in such a short amount of time." An estimated 200,000 Swifties were transported by the airline in the days leading up to her performances in the beginning of March, as stated by the source. Supposedly, the agreement that was proposed to Kelce and Swift was worth $3.2 million over the course of 2 years. Swift made her way to Australia after they had just returned from a brief trip to Singapore. Kelce's trip to Sydney, where he witnessed her performance at Accor Stadium, was part of a tip that, according to him, did not disappoint.
Yeah, you also went to a Taylor Sydney show.
I did. Sydney did not disappoint. That was a fun one, and then we got to enjoy the Taylor Swift show.
Did you feed any of the animals?
Yeah, I was just telling you. Gosh, they were just like a little bit louder than the Argentinian crowd.
Okay.
And I was not expecting that because Argentina.
Kelce eventually flew with her to Sydney. "I'm pretty sure the crowds over there they're already rowdy," he said to his brother Jason on their New Heights podcast. "I'm pretty sure they are. The Australians are pretty rowdy. They like to have a good time. I like to have a good time." They were only somewhat louder than the crowd in Argentina, but it was still noticeable. And that was something I was not anticipating since Argentina was so loud, and they were into it.
Well, ticketless Taylor Swift fans have ignored pleas to stay away from the MCG.
Flood of fans makes their way down from Jolimont Station as they head into the MCG.
Got to get some lovely Singapore food and just catch the views.
Lucrative deal requests. Due to the fact that Taylor Swift's performance in Singapore was so successful, she was able to secure a multi-million-dollar deal for both herself and Travis from the primary airline and tourist board of the country. The Sun has spoken to a person who is close to the negotiations. This source states that the celebrity duet made such a great and lucrative effect during the Asia leg of her Eras tour that officials in Singapore are keen to strike while the iron is hot. According to The Insider, Taylor and Travis are the perfect target to become ambassadors for Singapore at the international level. The Insider also stated that having both of them here for a couple of days is a massive thing for Singapore, and the impact on the economy is massive. "We never had an artist that attracts so many fans and helps a country generate so much business and money in such a short amount of time," he said enthusiastically.
Had negotiated to make Singapore the show's only stop in Southeast Asia. Now, he said,
as well as many other Swiftie fans would have a personal interest in wanting to see her perform live too.
Taylor Swift is performing in Singapore. We negotiated our agencies.
Here, good infrastructure. And of course, when you come to a concert venue, you also want to ensure that there are other things to do around it.
The numbers are staggering. According to the source, Singapore Airlines transported almost 200,000 Swifties to the country in advance of her performance schedule, which included 6 gigs in the country earlier this month. Additionally, a deal worth $3.2 million over 2 years is currently being considered. In what is being hailed as a fantastic move for Singapore, the airline intends to utilize them as brand ambassadors for overseas markets and in commercials. This decision is being hailed as a fantastic move for Singapore. In Southeast Asia, it is estimated that tourism brings in a total of $22 billion annually. A business consultant working in Singapore's Business and Tourism Department, who has been working on the offering, is of the opinion that including the Cruel Summer singer and her partner in the mix is the perfect fit. The Insider shared their thoughts with The Sun, saying, "They are both wonderful people, their love is so infectious, and everyone loves them. They are contemporary, cheerful, have a highly optimistic outlook on life, and are very dynamic and ambitious."
They had the world's biggest waterfall in a greenhouse too. Got to see 2 amazing shows of the Eras tour. The last of the.
Such a statement is in perfect harmony with the nation's philosophy. After performing in Australia, she made her only stop in the region, which was Singapore, where she performed 6 performances at the National Stadium. The concerts were a huge success, and Singapore was the envy of the whole Asian region. Having both of them serve as ambassadors would be an incredible opportunity, and I really hope that we are able to close those deals. The people of Singapore adore them so much. For the purpose of attending Swift's performance in Singapore, Kelce traveled more than 9,500 miles and was observed having a great time among the throng. While Swift was performing Look What You Made Me Do, there was footage that circulated that showed the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs dancing with his companions.
I think she had a very successful concert in Sydney. I don't know what the arrangements were, but I'm sure that New Mutual...
For discussing with the Taylor Swift team on how long and for what duration to host it in Singapore.
The show was even more electric, knowing that I had a little bit more to enjoy for.
Best thing possible. Travis Kelce talked candidly about his most recent journey to Australia. The star of the Kansas City Chiefs recently traveled to Australia to see his girlfriend Taylor perform in Sydney as part of her Eras tour. Travis called Sydney beautiful, remarking that he thought it resembled Miami in atmosphere. He and Taylor went on a day trip to the Sydney Zoo, which he described as fun. The three-time Super Bowl champion mentioned that he especially liked the exotic animals, including alligators, tigers, red pandas, and kangaroos, among other creatures. "Tell you what though, the kangaroos were pretty sweet," Travis replied. "I had a close-up encounter with a red panda. It appeared to be a sociable raccoon."
Got to see a red panda up close and personal.
Red panda?
Yeah.
What did it look like?
Dude, it looked...
Taylor Swift's boyfriend jetting into Sydney to catch up with the superstar ahead of her sellout shows.
Cute in the face, but you know that they got like claws and
yeah, this
their
little
hands
guy was,
are like...
he was friendly, was...
Taylor Swift and her boyfriend Travis Kelce are spending the evening at Sydney Zoo.
We had to go in a cage just to go in to like see the panda in like the panda area.
The zookeeper who was showing them around had termed the red panda an escape artist, and he remembered this as well. He confessed to thinking, "This thing just got so many brownie points from me." Additionally, Travis called caressing a rhino terrifying, saying it had just finished running around in mud, so petting it felt like I was putting my hand on a plastered wall. That item was quite sturdy. Jason also questioned Travis about aerial photos that emerged during the trip that showed him and Taylor. Travis clarified there were actual helicopters just flying around. This is all because Taylor is the biggest and the best thing possible. "Of sure," Jason said in response. Regarding the show, Travis seemed to be having a great time. He declared Sydney did not disappoint. Travis added that Taylor is very fond of performing in Australia because of the crowds over there and how into it they get. And it appears like Travis plans to go back to Australia, focusing on a trip to Melbourne to see pals. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.